Now, we get a lot of comments from people. People write in on surveys we send out and we ask people their feedback, comments under videos and podcasts. People report a challenge with self-trust. Often we'll get questions like, how do I and my personality, how do I build self-trust? How do I know that I can trust and rely on myself? When I hear that, I'm not sure we're all talking about the same thing. Mm-hmm. When someone says that, so one of the personality types that I hear this a lot from are IFJs and INFJs in particular. But when an INFJ writes into us and says, I'm struggling with self-trust, how do I trust myself? I think they struggle with a very different kind of self-trust than I struggle with in my life. Mm-hmm. Like I struggle with like making sure I'm going to feel in the mood to do something into the future. Or like right now, I don't necessarily trust myself to have good content or talk about things intelligently because I don't feel like doing this right now. So
right.
like, I don't have my feelings connected. It's all very motivation and feeling based for me. Mm-hmm. So my suspicion is, as we unpack this conversation, we're going to get a sense of different personality types, different people how they're wired, have a little bit of a different viewpoint of this. Mm-hmm. You might have a very different viewpoint than I do, Antonio. It's probably not about motivation and emotion for you. Maybe it's like your ability to maybe do something social with people, or I don't know. How would you interpret when you think about self-trust? What are you tapped into in your own person?
It's my ability to remain consistent with my core principles and to show up when I've said I'm going to show up.
Wow. So it's not, I mean, I'm very much connecting mine to getting something done in the outside world, mm-hmm. being able to be motivated to handle something. And that's where mine is focused. So yours is more about core principles, which would probably be an introverted thinking or accuracy framework.
Right. Well, it does also relate to showing up because there is a sense that if I've told myself I'm going to do something and I don't do it, I flake out. I can't really trust myself to follow through with my commitments, right? If I go, and I actually heard this from an INFJ, one of the INFJs in our Empowered program.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really powerful. This is, an INFJ would also use introverted thinking or accuracy. They'd use that as a 10-year-old or tertiary function. It's my second function, my co-pilot or auxiliary. And the way they defined it, I said, that's definitely an aspect of self-trust that I resonate with, even though I hadn't put language to it. They said, it's Daniel, who's one of the INFJs that we interviewed. And he said, if I tell myself I'm going to go to the gym and I don't go to the gym, why would I trust myself to do other things? He said it's like a relationship with another person. If they say they're going to be someplace at a certain time and they stand you up, you stop trusting them when they say they're going to meet you.
Yeah.
You stop trusting that they're reliable or that they're capable of doing the things that they say they're going to do. And I believe that is one of the components to trusting oneself as well. If I say that I'm going to be faithful to an exercise regime, or I say that I'm going to do things that I know are in mine and others' best interest, but they're hard, and so I flake out, how would that not erode my trust in myself, just like it would erode my trust in somebody who stood me up, right? I mean, I get to be there and I get to experience the entire thing, so it's not like I'm not asking, where did I go, right? Where did that person go? Why didn't they show up? So I have more information, but it doesn't mean that I have any more integrity just because I know the story of I didn't feel like it, and it's just my commitment to myself.
Yeah.
So self-trust includes a big portion of me showing up to the things that I've said I'd show up to, in some ways, especially for myself.